biggest fear every fucking time is that fucking music playing. We're on time today. Close to it. Close enough. Vigilante Williamson here on the 46th episode of my show, The Vigilante Williamson Show. It is April 26th, Monday, April 26th. And I hope you're having a blessed Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had a really good weekend. Mine was pretty chill. In the process of kind of shoring up the time I had to focus on this channel. I really want to do more with this channel. And shit has fallen and shit. Because I was just looking at my background. There's a missing book, and I think I know where it is. There you go. Right. Shout out to Thomas So. I need to actually read some of the book. The only book I've read was the charter schools. I got some of that. But yeah. Hell, how dare I be on time? Hell, snorter poopers. Hell, I want to be on time, man. I want to be on time to the best of my ability. Hell, Slash McSplitter. Hell. What's up, Wookie in Exile? Hello, snorter poopers again. Hell, Robert. Hell, the wait now. Hopefully, you guys are still here. I saw 5 at first, and then I don't know if they kicked you off or you guys left. Who knows? With YouTube. You know, speaking of which, I need to check my D Live. And I realized I did not change the title. Silly Billy. Hopefully this goes. Hopefully this changes in the on the video on YouTube. I was so busy trying to be on time, I didn't get everything correct. So I'm gonna try to vamp for myself as I edit the title. Hopefully it shows up on YouTube correctly because I had the old title from the old episode. Error occurred. Motherfucker. It's not letting me probably. Maybe it's too many characters. Jesus. I really feel like dealing with this right now at the start of my show. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, YouTube or StreamYards or whatever the hell. Oh, it's just not gonna let. Okay, we're just gonna. Okay. That's really dope. I'm not gonna give up though. Not gonna give up. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We will talk about the batas. Yes, the batas. They call it the Oscar, but I'll actually start off showing you their Egyptian guide. I'm not sure if our resident Canadian Egyptian guide has popped into the chat yet. That would be Lord Thaw. Hail Lord Thaw, even if you aren't here. As I have to go on to YouTube and get this shit edited and the D Live and edit it and then check my stream elements. I'm starting a different super chat platform. I was using Streamlabs, but they don't give an alert. And Stream Elements does, at least in the chat. So hopefully I'll be, I won't be drunk 3PO. It's not just drunk 3PO. He always gets shit for no reason. But hopefully I'll be able to read more of them because I was missing them and I do not want to miss super chats. I get you guys have monetized the channel without it being monetized, and it means a lot to me, and I'm really appreciative of that. And even if nobody does anything, just the fact that you're watching this but the fact that you're watching this, I do put quite a bit of work into it, but the fact that you guys are watching it makes it worth it. And let me save on YouTube. It is okay. Okay, we're getting there. We're prepping the show during the show. That's a rundown. Did anyone watch the Oscars? And what do you guys think? Some part of me is like, should I even talk about this shit? Because it's really kind of trash. So nobody cares, and then everyone talks about how nobody cares. You know what I mean? It's like, not only that, I feel like there's just as much as there's a fatigue with hashtag wokeness. I think, at least personally, maybe it's because I'm doing this, I think there's a fatigue with complaining about wokeness, but it's not just, me doing this. I was in the chat of the Inquisition, Hell Doomcock, and Gary. Obviously, Gary is probably the reason you're watching this stream one way or another, either directly or indirectly. And Doomcock is obviously influenced. I love the Inquisition. But I noticed in the chat, they were talking about, as they called it, Falcon and the Woker Soldier. But A Train and white A Train and White Privilege, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of people, after about an hour or so of them talking about it, they're like, okay, we get it. It sucks. Just move on. Like, okay, it's trash. I get it. I don't want to, I don't think they was just like, okay, we know it's not good. And it was a 7 hour. And actually, the funny thing about the Inquisition is like I fell asleep and it was just on. And I'm like, he's still going. And then I woke up. Doomcock is the man. I love Doomcock, man. He is the man. He's one of the guys that was when I last year before I actually started the channel, and it was an Inquisition episode. And Gary, Gary left because it was on his channel, and he went another like 5 or 7 hours like he did last night. Read everyone's super chat. I think it was Selena SW had an issue with her daughter, and we were getting updates throughout the night. People were talking. That was like one of the first Inquisitions. That wasn't the first Inquisition. That was one of the first Inquisitions I was participating in the chat. Because I heard him in past, because that's how I found Gary. I felt Doomcock first. So yeah, I love Doomcock, but I just noticed people in the chat were fatiguing on the Woker Soldier talk, and not from even though there were trolls. Shout out to everyone in the chat who's better at ignoring the trolls, but it was just like, okay, we get it, and I'm feeling that way. We get it. The shit is woke, it's trash, and I mean, I don't want to do. I'm sick of these SJWs living rent free in my head one way or another. I'm done with that, man. I'm not gonna allow them. I'm not gonna allow them to. So let's one thing. Oh, I forgot to check my stream elements. I don't think anyone's super chatted because usually it would give me a alert. At least that's the whole fucking reason I'm using it. But I just want to get that window up. Oh, I did get a super chat just a minute ago. I guess who has figured out how to use it. Holy smokes, bro. Wow. It should have yeah. Ogre Squasher just tipped $101.51. 101 reasons for Alien Day. Hell, Ogre Squasher. You won't be able to do it in secret because we got the stream elements, which you figured out, and that lets you know. Ogre Squasher, the official at this point executive producer of the channel. There's no words to express how appreciative I am of you, brother. Hopefully, I didn't see any other super chats, but thank you so much, man. You really keep the channel going, and there's no words to express how much you mean to me. I am too. I don't want to beg. I mean, you don't owe me shit, but yeah, that was Ain't Too Proud to Beg. I was singing parts of. It's a Motown song. I know it's older than a lot of these people in the chat, myself included. Geez. But let's just see who else is in the chat. Outside of Ogre Squash, I always say hi to Wookiee in Exile. Hi, Manolo Rivera. Hopefully I'm not screwing up your name. The Wake Down's around. Good. Sup, nerd. Sup, Cinch Dildo. Buzz. So Mike Beat. Hell. Yeah, buzz the like button. Yeah. I should say that more. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Get other people. Let other people know the good word of Vigilante Williamson. You mean it's finally craft. Informative exposition on diverse. Yeah, I called it crap. It's definitely not crap. Put a lot of work into it. As I breathe heavily like a fat chick on a thing. Yeah, Hollywood is filled of. We will talk about Hollywood in there in this, and I don't give hell Doomcock. The truth is, I haven't cared about the Oscars. I'm gonna do a little history to kind of see like when did they really fall off? Because I have the Best Actor, Best Support, Best Actor, Best Picture, Best Actress, like the nominees on Wikipedia. But here's the thing, man. Award shows, okay, maybe it was me doing music and I just realized, listen, the Grammys themselves, what was it? Van Halen only has one Grammy and it was not in their prime. It was one of those pity Grammys. Nas never won a Grammy. There's so many great artists never won a Grammy. This Oscar having a bunch of movies no one has seen has been like a thing since like the 90s, even the 70s. There's been that we want to get the indie movies. It's always a surprise. You see, this got nominated. I didn't know that got nominated. You know what I mean? So the Oscars are not, even before the world was woke, even before we knew they were all creeps. It's not like the Oscars always had a false sense of relevance. It was overly relevant and obviously did good ratings. It was obviously a very popular show. There were Oscar parties, etc. But it never really mattered to me, even when it mattered. That doesn't mean it was like, oh man, that's cool, such and such won, and it was at least somewhat of a count of quality. But even then, it was like, well, they only want the most indie. Brokeback Mountain, as Cartman said a few years before that movie came out. Exozone, gay cowboys eating pudding, whatever, it was the most indie movie. And so that's why it always had kind of a falseness to it. Oscars that, hey, they green dude in the trash can. Shout out to Oscar the Grouch. What Dave Chappelle, you guys let's walk over the Grouch. That's what Oscar taught everyone to walk over homeless people. Let's see. And then one show again, Ogre Squasher is insane. It's insane. Fimmer Ice Wolf, hell Fimmer. Hell Eric. I always mess with the rest of your name. But hell Eric. Yeah, Ogre is insane, man. He announces himself with like a bang, like Ogre Squasher has arrived. Here he comes to say today, thank you, bro. I noticed all over YouTube today. People originally turned to YouTube for entertainment in the wake of Hollywood. First, they were on board with the anti-woke. First, they were on board with the anti-woke narrative, but just want entertainment. Yeah, I think. I'm the same, and I'm trying to learn to provide entertainment. I'm still going to talk about a lot of stuff I talk about, but entertainment has to come first. I don't want. If we're going to win this culture war, so to speak, it has to be like complete. You know what I mean? And that's normal. They normalize a lot of craziness. Hence, we're in this stuff where your kids are getting taught critical race there. They're getting taught to hate themselves based upon the color of their skin. And I didn't even pull it up. Tyler Perry's speech. Who would have thought Tyler Perry is going to be the voice of reason? But I mean, he's a black man who's built an empire outside of Hollywood, and he cross dresses. So I don't think they're going to touch him. I don't think they have anything to touch on Tyler Perry. And there's rumors about him being in the alphabet community, which is no disrespect to him if he is, but I mean, I just don't think he's the guy to fuck with from a clout standpoint or from a woke narrative standpoint, because he's one of the few studios that always make money on their movies. A lot of that's low budget, a lot of that's whatever. I'm not a Tyler Perry fan. I think a lot of his shit is stereotypical, to be quite frank. But man, if you're talking about if you want to talk about the blueprint for movie making outside of Hollywood. And I'm talking about not necessarily the creative, because I didn't like the creative stuff. I didn't find it. But everything else, Tyler Perry's the blueprint, man. He's the fucking blueprint. Obviously you got to be a super fucking prolific writer, but even if you hire it out, just having that constant, I don't know how many movies he was doing a year, but just a ton. Just Another Red Shirt is here. Hell, Just Another Red Shirt. He's not just another red shirt. Y'all know that. He's the red shirt, and I appreciate him being here. Appreciate him being here. Let me skip. Make sure I get. Oh, V-Star's here. And see her. Where are you? Okay, I don't see. I just see someone saying hi to V-Star. So hey, V-Star. When Jethro Tull won the first Grammy for Best Metal album the same year Metallica released a Black album. Yeah, I do remember hearing of that story. So that's what I mean. The Grammys have no credibility. They've never had a lot of credibility. They've always had arbitrary credibility in a lot of this. A lot of these awards, in Ascension Dildo, how dare they not give Chadwick an Oscar? He did. I didn't see the movie. I didn't see any of their movies. So I don't know if he deserved it or didn't deserve it. But I do know, like, if you're not gonna give it to him, don't make it seem like you're gonna give it to him. You know what I mean? Because I guess they did some cinematic stuff and made it so that was the last award. But it's like, if whoever knows when the awards are, or who won, should probably organize based upon that. So that was kind of a flaw. So Anthony Hopkins said dedicated to Chadwick Boseman, but it's just like, don't embarrass yourselves, not Grammys, Oscars, or Pataz. Yeah, Tyler Perry has a lot of pull in Hollywood, regardless of how you feel about him. Yeah, a lot of pull. He's not the guy to just cross in that town. Yep, remember that nonsense. Yeah, so it's like these award shows have no historical credibility. And hell, Gomer Cow, 79. Hell, Gomer Cow. Anyone else that I missed? Hopefully, if I missed you, blame my head, not my heart. Cause I don't want to screw up and miss anything. Hell, Stream Elements. Yelling at people and spamming people and stuff. So you know what? I talked about Tyler Perry. Let me pull that up. And real quick, let's check the D Live crew. The D Live. We love the D Livers. Yes, I can see you, Mustafa. 1Z. So I'm simul streaming. This is a YouTube stream. It's on YouTube and Twitch. I'm kind of small, so no one yells at me for it. But I did check my D Live and I can see you. So I check it periodically. So if you want to chat in the D Live, feel free to chat in the D Live. Or in the chat. Just say hey. And I've been simul streaming for almost a year. And it's like I still don't have that much traction on this platform as far as D Live. I do have quite a bit on YouTube, so you want to check out the YouTube. But I really would like D Live to grow, and I think it could be a very viable alternative to Twitch if it wants to be. And I would love to grow on this platform. So if you want to stay here, Mustafa 01Z, feel free. It's up to you. But yeah, I can see you. So yeah. So let's get up Tyler Perry. The response. Then we'll do a little history lessons on the patas. And then, you know what? At some point, I do want to talk about Mortal Kombat. I'll probably do a review on it. But yeah, I felt mixed on it, and I still don't know how to feel. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna talk about what he said. A lot of you probably already heard. That's how that's another thing about doing YouTube. Everybody hears everything. By the time I'm going on now, all these stories are almost old. Yeah, we will definitely talk more about Mortal Kombat. Definitely. Midlife. Screw salty over. What's midlife? Is that what you call in D Live? Saw a couple of clips of Oscars. It was very Hunger Games like. It's always been Hunger Games esque. And Ogre Squatcher gave up on Twitch. They canceled Razor Fist. Jesus, I don't really. I watch your D Live, so that's what you call a D Live midlife. Is it a midlife crisis site? And then they screw over Salty Cracker. I thought Owen Benjamin's on there. I thought they were a little bit more, edgy or allowed more edge. But let's get to what Tyler Perry said. Actually, the story is about Hugh Jackman yelling at the TV, probably saying thank you. He took the Insta scam to direct him to break bread, how to figure out change. Okay, all that's unnecessary. What did he say? He said there's so many great moments in Oscar last night. No, there weren't. But that one in particular really touched me because Tyler speaks on the stepping on in the middle. When I was yelling at my TV, I'll meet you in the middle, Tyler. Okay, whatever. I love Wolverine and everything, but this is I want clout too. You have clout. I want clout too. I'll meet you. I'm white. Give me clout, please. There is a touching story about him helping this homeless lady with shoes, and she said he's remembered how he's homeless or how he used to be homeless, and he said, "How could he hate you when he used to be you?" Talking about homeless. The real crux of what he said, which was what was interesting and why I'm even covering it, is I refuse to. This is what he said. I refuse to hate someone because they're Mexican or because they're black or white or LGBTQ. I refuse to hate someone because they're a police officer. I refuse to hate someone because they're Asian. And he dedicated the Oscar willing to anyone to stand in the middle with him because that's where healing happens. That's where conversation happens. That's where change happens. It happens in the middle. So anyone who wants to meet me in the middle, to refuse hate, to refuse blanket judgment, and to lift someone's feet off the ground, this one is for you too. So that's the real, inspiring thing. And you know what? A generation ago, this would have been okay. Yeah, yep. Everyone be nice. But in this day and age, this is borderline daring. I mean, yeah. Oh, you meant D Live. I thought you were throwing shade at D Live, But the fact that they fuck with what's my man name? Salty. I'm not even a big Salty Cracker fan. I don't even know what he says because I watched so little Salty Cracker. But that's bullshit. Just checking D Live, see Mustafa. I have 2 viewers. Yeah. There's 2 people on D Live, so not just Mustafa, unless they're just counting me. Which usually don't, because usually we'll just say 0 if it's just me. So hell the other viewer on D Live. Still give Salty a donation every month. Yeah. Odyssey seems the way to go. Keep forgetting about my Minds account. I'm on Minds. They had it was a lot of little ignorant stuff that I was like, oh, come on, bro, you're gonna fuck this whole platform up. But I'm still on it. I still like it, and I am on Odyssey. The uploads go to Odyssey. The live streams, for whatever, do not. I don't know if their live streaming is up or how to get it, and once I can, I will. So you guys can let me know. Turned off my autocorrect last year. I'll get typos, but it won't ruin the punchline. Yeah. To understand Odyssey, I need someone to explain it smarter than me. See, that's the problem. Yeah, it's got to be simple. It's got to be simple. But back to Tyler Perry, back to Medea, so to speak. I think Medea might even be like a old goddess or something. Who knows? That's neither here nor there. Vigil or Virgil? Who the hell is Virgil? Like Static Shock? Like the wrestler? Hell, Latino slant either way. Hell. Hell, neither do I. Ignorant stuff should have a platform too. Absolutely. We need ignorance. We need ignorance. We need edgy. We need stuff we don't agree with. We need stuff that's crazy to say, what the fuck is wrong with you? We need that. So yeah, that's messed up if D Live is on the censorship train. But back to what Tyler Perry said, which I thought was thoughtful. In a different era, this would have just been generic BS. But in this crazy climate, it was a really cool thing for him to say. Medeva, Destroyer of Worlds. Okay, so that's I don't know that that's the inspiration, but I genuinely think Medea is inspired by some goddess. So if that is it, not shocked. We'll get actually, because we're talking about the Patas or the Oscars, we'll talk a little bit about that because I found that interesting thing. YouTube started going downhill when they purged the conspiracy theory crowd. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm unsuperior even with autocorrects. Here we go with that. And one saying hell. Oh, that's a pun of Shiva. Okay, and now I'm gonna look up what the hell Medea goddess is, because Medea is a thing. And then I'll get into the Patas. But I want to talk, a little bit more. Yeah, a Greek goddess. A Greek enchantress, excuse me. So yeah, Medea is a thing. It's not just a really tall black man playing the grandmother. It's also like a thing. Oh man, guys, I'll talk a little bit about what you guys are saying, but I think it's cool that Tyler Perry said this, even though nobody really watched the Oscars. I think it's a necessary thing that people in Hollywood are saying, hey, we can't make sweeping judgments. He said, I'm not going to hate you just because you're white. I'm not going to hate you just because you're, a police officer. I'm not going to hate for unnecessary reasons. I'm not going to make sweeping judgments. I'm going to try to meet people in the middle. And Hollywood has just been yelling at their fans. It's why less than 10 million people watched. And yeah, it's finally hitting them. Let's talk about the other, the past few months in movies. Let's talk about really it's all been Warner Brothers. Despite their best efforts, their fucking release on HBO Max and theaters thing has sort of worked. They have like 40 million. I can't show that because I was going to talk about that earlier, but I'll move it here real quick. They have about 40 million subs, up from like 17. I think there was. 44.1 million subs. They've already profited on 2 movies in the pandemic. When you come to Mortal Kombat, they haven't quite made their money back on Mortal Kombat, but they're on pay. They will. But they did it with Godzilla versus Kong, and again, they're on pace at doing it with Mortal Kombat. And part of that is because I think we have totally overblown the death of the theater. The theater will never die. It won't, because every time technology says whether it was the television set or the VCR or the DVD or the internet. We always say the theaters are dead, but the theater has been going on since the fucking Coliseum and the old theaters of old. Like, I think people want that experience of being in a place with other people and watching a show. And I don't think you can ever recreate that at home. You can get closest to you can get somewhat of an experience. There's a lot of cool things you can do at home. Hell, you guys are watching an idiot in a mask due to the modern technology. Don't get me wrong. But the theater experience, I don't think is one that humans are going to give up. I am one who is just as guilty as everyone. I said HBO Max, where they were idiots. They've killed the movie industry dead, and theaters will be dead forever. And that's no. If you and you don't even have to make an Oscar winning movie, so to speak, because I don't think Godzilla vs. Kong, it was good. I liked it better than Mortal Kombat, but neither of them were great. You know, they were just solid movies, especially in this woke era. And shit, I think the Snyder Cut helped too. It helped bring a lot of people to the HBO Max. And I've talked to my brother's not quite normie. He's in between normie and nerdy. Well, he's pretty nerdy, but you know, cool, a lot cooler to me. But we were talking about how HBO Max is like the best streaming service because of the having movies in theaters that are already out for free, not having to pay for them like you will with Black Widow. And on top of it, having all these 90s, 80s movies that are kind of classic movies. And even if you're not into that, they have like Friends and all these other properties. They have a ton of stuff. I like the streaming service. But I say all that to say this, to kind of tie it back to what Tyler Perry was saying. All the movies that made HBO and Warner its money, they're kind of just dumb, fun action movies with minimal to no wokeness. I mean, there's sprinkles throughout, but they're not like browbeating people in their head. They're not like preaching at people. They're just fun bits of escapism. And I think Hollywood is starting to realize, oh, okay, no one wants to hear us talk. Yeah, if it wasn't the Imagine shit they did last year, if it wasn't, you know, every fucking thing that exists losing viewership, including the fucking NFL, I think they're just now starting to get the message. And I think Tyler Perry is as good of a guy as any. As I said earlier, if it just comes down to clout, he's pretty untouchable. When you add their little check boxes, I don't think he's somebody to be messed with on that level either. And I think him saying it is going to get, you know, the next day you had fucking Wolverine asking for clout. I mean, trying to meet him in the middle. So I definitely think there's something positive. But speaking of Tyler Perry and his character Medea, let's all learn about some of the etymology, because we're going to get into crazy Hollywood. Somebody mentioned Hollywood are being pizza lovers or lovers of cuties, so to speak. But we will talk about that. A week late on a new video, says Wookie on Exile. Trying to see people. I see more of a kitty. Meow more. I'm saying meow. Hello. This is great. See people saying hi to everyone. Bad Wookie. I'm trying to catch everyone. And I see Latino Slant saying hell to everybody. The Supremacy has been banned. Why the name change? Love your channel. Okay. Oh yeah, this is the one I wanted to get to. TikTok has banned Super Straight for its platform for being hateful content. As much of a joke as that started out to be, I think there's going to be a generation who will like pick that up, because look how much content, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you push so much content in that, people start to feel like oh man, there's probably a generation of kids who probably feel ashamed to be straight, especially with this critical race, critical theory trying to teach every kid to hate themselves in a new way. Hell, Yens. I love Yens. Fucking had the clip of Thug Rose kicking Wele Zing in the face, and he's just so he's so brutal to the ladies when it comes to like violent stuff. Said Mortal Kombat's masculine action by masculine men is going to make money. Man, there's something to that. And the parts that I didn't like were when the wife. I don't want to spoiler alert for Mortal Kombat for the stream, but there are a few woke parts. I'm gonna try not to spoil it. I think most people probably seen it, but I'm still gonna try not to spoil it unless you guys give me the okay. But spoiler alert, there's some sprinkles of woke. Definitely sprinkles of woke. Those subscription numbers are inflated. They're counting every single contract with AT&T as well as free trials that people cancel. Well, guess what, buddy? So is Disney Plus. Both of these, and you know what? Fucking WWE Network used to do the same thing, and they were able to fool their fucking stockholders for years, doing the same little games with the subscription counts. It wouldn't shock me if Netflix is doing something similar. I think that's just how it is when it comes to these sub counts and these big corporations. So yeah, there's a lot of fuckery. Vigilante Spec Ops. Hell, Robert, he's going dark. Was inspired by Doug, Earthworm, Jim to April. Okay. Hearts from Moira. SJWs are 20 minutes ago doesn't exist. They cause the world we have. If they revert back, they can always just point to the newest project claim things have always been that way. Very true. Very true. Straight guys don't like Geesh. Dick, I don't know what the big deal is. The big deal is straight is not allowed by SJWs. Kids are ashamed for being straight. They'll say they're bi. That's fucked up. Wouldn't shock me, man. It wouldn't shock me. Watch Scorpion's Revenge. I don't like anime stuff, but I dig the WB stuff. But speaking of revenge, I want to talk about Medea. This is where Medea's namesake comes from. We were talking about Tyler Perry. Just wanted to give a heads up because it'll link into our stories. The Enchantress, she's an enchantress to help Jason. I don't know if it was Jason versus Freddy. Leader of the Argonauts to obtain a golden fleece from her father, King Aetes of Colylus. She was of divine descent and had the gift of prophecy. She married Jason and used her magic powers and advice to help him. One version of the story, they flee and are pursued by Aetes. Jason, in conspiracy with Medea, cut her brother into pieces and threw him in the sea to delay the pursuit. So she's I'm not gonna read all this. An enchantress who had the ability to use prophecy and magic powers. So that's the namesake of Medea. And speaking of namesakes, the Oscars themselves, I keep joking calling them Patah. This is who they're based on. And actually, let me find a picture to prove that I'm not just a crazy person. Well, I am a crazy person. I mean, geez, look at me. But yeah, I'm not joking when I call it the Patah. Here's some depictions of Patah. And you tell me if that doesn't, especially this one, doesn't remind you of the old Oscars. There definitely is an influence. And Patah, what is he? Shout out to Lord Thoth if you're in the chat, our Canadian Egyptian god, but for our regular Egyptian gods, he is the creator god, I believe. Where did they get their name? Egypt is based on ancient Greek spelling. Oh, Haka Patah. So actually, it's actually the namesake of Egypt in its native Egyptian is Patah. What did he do? Sorry if I'm losing people with the Patah stuff, but it's just kind of interesting that these we don't really peep. These things have an influence of some other stuff, and we'll get in and you'll say, why does this have to? What story does this have to do? You will see. To understand how Patah became so Egyptian, so important in Egypt, had to go back to even beyond Egypt, first dynasty, around 3100 BC. Hoteps and fucking Kemet dudes, do not yell at me, please. This is where Patah first appears in the surviving written records, not as a god of all Egypt, but a local deity and protector of Memphis. Shout out to A-Ball MJG. Not that Memphis, obviously, it's Memphis in Egypt or in Africa at the time. Memphis was the largest and most important city in the kingdom of Lower Egypt. When Upper Egypt was unified, Memphis was the Memphis tribe. So his role is the creator of everything. The more important stuff is that he had a link to sculptors and artists of the day. He was he was associated with jewelry, painting, textiles, furniture, monumental architecture, which were all semi-sacred when done right. He was creations were reflected divine creations, and he was the patron deity of architects, painters, builders, and carpenters, and most importantly, sculptors. So there was an artist. He was associated with the arts even back then. That's the kind of interesting link. So you're like, well, what the fuck do Egyptian gods and Medea, what does that have to do with your story? Well, as we've noted, Hollywood's full of freaks, and Rose McGowan is exposing this. Do you believe this is what she says? This is a story I didn't see that just shout out to whoever on Twitter put this up. But I guess the story is a couple months old, but it's like, and we already know that Time's Up has been caught for they haven't given her money to They have not been able to give their money to, or they haven't been giving their money to the actual cause to anybody. You ever see the newest MTV award, the GOAT? Yeah, we could. There's plenty of evidence of that. Hell, Memphis, Sacred Patutia, Patas. Some of you guys know what's up. We can talk days of extra symbol referencing Hollywood. Yeah, we can. And so that's why I saw this story. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of links too. So yeah, the Me Too is this is what, according to Rose McGowan, and this is all rumor and alleged. Susan, you're supposed to be for free speech. I have the right to free speech. So this is from last year. It's December last year. I saw it on Twitter and just like, I'm talking about it. But she says Time's Up is a front for trafficking. Calls out everyone's favorite Bree, Natalie Portman, Marissa Tomei, who supported the charmed and planetary actress Rose McGowan claims the Ties Up organization, which latched itself onto the hashtag Me As Well movement, is a front for trafficking. She made the claim on Twitter in reaction to an article in the New York Post, claimed the charity is spending most of its money on donations and on salaries rather than actually helping the victims of the harassment. The Post reported the foundation, Time's Up Foundation, and Time's Up Now Inc. raised $3.6 million in 2018, its founding year. Spent $1.4 million on salaries and only $312,000 on legal defense. They went on to state that the organization co-sponsored a retreat in the Ojai Valley Inn, a luxury resort, a spa north of Los Angeles. The retreat was dominated by agents from the CAA. Who apparently had trouble deciding what the core mission should be. They just wanted to hang out, maybe traffic. The organization had other expenses. They spent $300,000 on advertising. They spent almost as much on advertising as they did giving to their the actual victims they were looking to help, and almost $1 million on legal costs. Majority going to this multinational law firm who has a lobbying arm of Capitol Hill. So they spent most of the money on lobbying, travel expenses, and advertising, a little bit to the people. So that's not really the thing. So and she's a crazy actress herself. So I mean, you can take these motherfuckers with a grain of salt. But according to the report, fraud alert. Time's Up, vile PR stunt, and a front for the evil CAA and other traffickers like Weinstein. Shame on you. Shame on the actors involved with the lie. And yeah. And if you don't believe it, that's understandable. That's fair. But never forget, we talked about the batas, the Oscars. Weinstein was the guy who made Oscar lobbying more of a thing. That the Oscar season, releasing a movie a certain time, paying people off, doing all the marketing to try to make your stuff win an Oscar. So there's still a link. And of course, he was a part of a lot, one of the great creative booms of Hollywood, letting directors like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino do their thing and make a lot of good movies. But he was a sick fuck, and sick fuckery goes on in Hollywood all the time. So Anita Dunn and SKD Knickerbocker, I guess SKD Knickerbocker public affairs consulting firm. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get myself in more trouble. So I guess this is their leadership board. And of course, the leadership board includes visionary Gloria Steinem, who we all know, as I've said many a time, feminism has hated the black man ever since Gloria Steinem got pumped and dumped by Jim Brown. So, we know how much she loves everybody. And Oprah Winfrey, and I'm not going to get into any more Exozone stuff than I am doing here. There's other people, Laura Dern, Tracy Ellis Ross. Doesn't mean they knew anything. They could have just been idiots just signing their name to just look cool. Billie Jean King. Among others, Alyssa Milano, Janelle Monáe. Alyssa Milano, who was an ACAB type girl, all cops are bastards, unless a black guy or young black kids playing in the woods near her, and then she has to call the police. Look it up if you don't believe me. Amy Schumer, there's that. Reese Witherspoon, there's a few others. Miss Kerry Washington, Lena Waithe. Yeah. I think Brie name was in there as well. Was it? And Ashley Judd, Journey Smollett, not Jussie, French actor Jussie Smollett. So these are just some of the people, a lot of staff, a lot of famous people. You get it. These are her allegations. I have no idea. Shout out to Jets Pizza. Do not know the reference, but Jets is awesome. Jets is awesome. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, do I believe it? Yes, I believe it because it's Hollywood. Of course, I fucking believe it. But I don't know. I have no idea. So yeah, Wookie was talking about the go. I don't watch the MTV Awards anymore than I watch the Oscars. Yep, Rose rocking the boat again. She's nuts, but I dig that crazy bitch, huh? Doesn't mean she's wrong. Susan, you can't mess with VW. He's a black man exposing your friends in Hollywood and Silicon Valley. So another scam, calling me surprised. Yep. I mean, have you ever found yourself watching a dark movie and think that gruesome death look extra real? I wonder how they do it. Then you learn, man, sheesh. And then Vigilante Spec Ops, didn't Rob Zombie use real parts in the movie? I don't know, man. Doesn't flip-flop stick to her guns. I like that. I don't know too much. I feel like I've heard about her saying some stuff. Not sure. Wouldn't surprise me. His thought is just an amazing FX guy. Says Wookiee and Exiled. Wait, I'll say wouldn't surprise. Sorry if I'm going too fast. Hollywood and DC both. You saw a lot of links to a certain party. Both parties suck, but this one sucks a little younger than the others. LOL says to wake down Jets Pizza again, because shout out to Jets Pizza. It's way too awesome. August Washer, true. Oprah is my enemy because I've been called Oprah's nephew all my life. We had the same last name. No, Zombie didn't do it. It was Poltergeist. Even still, it's crazy. Here we go. Masonic Architects left Egyptian signatures all over major European and U.S. cities. Yeah. Yep. So that's where I was getting at. It looks like everyone else picked up what I was putting down about Hollywood and how wicked it is and why, even though that story is a few months old, I still felt it relevant because I was talking about the Batas and Medea. I'm like, you know what? This all links together. So this is the Oscar special, so to speak. Let's just kind of real quick before we get into actually I'm looking at it. We're going to get into Mortal Kombat. We'll get into Mortal Kombat before we end the show. But let's look at the Oscars. Let's line this up. Start with the 90s. Like, at what point I'm gonna go to the best actors, best whatever, best movie, and best actor. At what point did the Oscars completely fall off? Now, I know some of us never were big in the Oscars. Even me, I wasn't too big into it. But this did have a point of relevance of being somewhat of an indicator on what was going on. And I don't know when sheesh. To prove the opposite point, Godfather 3 was nominated for Best Picture in 1990. I don't even have it up. Now I have it up. The Godfather 3 was nominated for the Best Picture in 1990. So if you're thinking, man, the Oscars, they've been falling off recently. No. They have always been a bullshit fest, a PR fest, a PR stunt. But I still feel like even though this is bullshit that this got nominated, still relevant. Dancing with Wolves, be good, fellas. Sure, pal. Whatever. Silence of the Lambs won the next year. Unforgiven, okay. There's other things nominated, but Unforgiven is good. A Few Good Men could have won. Cinnamon Woman could have won, but okay. Schindler's List, pretty good movie. Forrest Gump the next year, still pretty good. All these movies are always good, even if you don't think they're the best movie. You don't think they should have won relative to some of the competition, because Forrest Gump could have lost to Pulp Fiction very easily, or Shawshank Redemption. But look at the quality of movies that were getting nominated. I don't remember Quiz Show, but I mean, whatever. Maybe it is a good movie. That's because I don't remember doesn't mean it's not good. We got Braveheart and beat movies like Apollo 13. Babe, is that the movie about a pig? Babe was nominated in 1995. See, that's what I mean. There's still some fuckery going on. Fargo and Jerry Maguire lost in the English Patient again. High quality movies. Titanic beat LA Confidential and Good Will Hunting. I'm telling you, LA Confidential was the best movie this year. If this is the list, LA Confidential should have won. That's neither here nor there. My point is not necessarily who should have won each year, just to show the nominees relative to the year. Let's skip ahead. Still got Chicago against New York, Lord of the Rings in 2002, and Lord of the Rings started getting nominated. I feel like Lord of the Rings was the one movie that started to break genre into the Oscars. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Gladiator. As far as 2000, Traffic is a good movie. Okay, these are good movies. You're like, yeah. Even if you didn't see them, these are still solid movies to be recommended. And like Chicago is not going to be everyone's cup of tea as a musical. $1 Million Baby, Crash. I still feel like these are still good movies. Ray, Good Night and Good Luck is actually a really good one. I didn't see any of the other ones. The Departed is a really good movie. It should have won this year, 2006. No Country for Old Men, still good. We're still good. Hurt Locker, 2009, looks like we're still good. And then I don't know. Lots of good movies. Fargo is great. Ascension Dildo. There's lots of good movies. And yeah, Jens, you ain't wrong with this comment. And yeah, they are one and the same. Yeah, they are. They are. And the second word is the naughty is a multinational thing that includes them and a lot of other people. You could have gave it, best actor, because he was supposed to win it for X. And what's his name got screwed for Scarface and The Godfather. There's a lot of that makeup cost stuff. Honestly, I felt. Let's go to the man, because when you look at 2010, that's when we start to kind of get iffy. I mean, King's Speech, Inception, The Fighter. The Fighter is good. The Fighter is good. So we still got good movies. Yeah, Social Network. This is, you know what? This is when they start to get a bunch of movies in 2010. Now it's 100 movies nominated. There's still some good ones. You got Moneyball. I don't know if the artist is that good. The Descendants, is that what George Clooney? I think that was. Is that the one where his wife is in a coma? Because that one's really good, but it's fucked up. It's just like, it's a punch of guts. It's 2012. You still even get Argo, Django Unchained, Silver Linings Playbook, which I didn't like about her. It was good. Zero Dark 30. What I didn't watch. I mean to say, Zero Dark 30, which I heard was good. Here we go. 12 Years a Slave. I never saw it. I never was going to see it. Captain Phillips, Gravity. I think this is where we're starting to fall off. Now, Birdman won. It probably should. I like that movie. And I think even though there's still good nominees, have The Big Short, have Mad Max, The Martian, but you're seeing less and less. Even though they're adding more nominees for Best Picture, but less and less is good. Now we're in Moonlight, which I know a lot of people liked and said was good. So if it's good, it's good. Didn't see any of these other movies. Shape of Water, didn't see any of these. Get Out's on here. Dunkirk, Black Klansman and Black Panther got nominated. Okay, Rome. You still have Ford versus Ferrari, Joker, but Parasite won last. That was last time. There wasn't one last year, and then of course this year, Nomadland beat The Father, which I didn't see. Judas and the Black Messiah, which I didn't see. You get the point. You get how at one point we were just naming names of great movies. King's Speech, just another red shirt says fantastic. Yeah. Wait down. Okay, so now we're getting the next one's on. While I believe in some global cabal attempting to pull all our strings, I thought they called themselves nine. Well, it doesn't really. It's irrelevant. I call them the international bankers and their minions. It's irrelevant what they call it. But I mean, I don't know what they call it. I know they're supposedly Luciferian. Whatever they believe in is what they believe in. Take more Eyes Wide Shut movies. We'll have more dead directors if we do that. So yeah, I don't know if I don't think they call themselves the nine. That was just the Illuminati. That was a word that was coined in the 1700s for a group, and who knows, they may be linked if you believe that they've been even older than that, because they're supposed to be going. They're supposed to be the Babylonians. That's who they think they are, the Babylonians of the scriptures and like that religion. Goodfellas should have won as well. Departed is not that. I like Departed. I really like The Departed. Oscars are so pouncy. How many Oscars did The Running Man get? None. That's why I don't take it seriously. Yeah, The Martian is terrible. I didn't see it. Parasite is very good. To be fair, okay, okay. Now he's just used the group. People have the money. Of course, it exists. Money talks. Yeah, there's something. It's something. The Bilderberg, whoever. Check out who shows Davos each year. Yeah, the Bilderberg, the international bankers, the sociopaths with way too much power. If you're doing the research, you can find a lot of stuff, and they're the ones who run a lot of this bullshit, and it's failing. Um, let's see who the best actress. I know Jens, he loves the ladies so much he cares about this. But the hours, you know what? I'm looking at this. I'm like, who really cares about any of these? When didn't Halle Berry win one of these? Yeah, she won in 2001 for Monsters Ball. Bridget, sheesh. I'm like looking at these movies. I should have just start with Best Picture. I think that's the best indicator of everything. My point is you can still see good movies up until the 2000s, but once we started getting the tens, especially after 2015, it just goes downhill. And even 2015, we're starting to fall off 2012, 2013, as far as the quality of movies, especially percentage wise, they let more in. So really, even before wokeness, I consider woke era really 2014 to 2016 is when it developed. It's not been that big of a deal. It's been kind of just a fart sniffing contest for a long time. And again, even as back as the 90s, you have Godfather Part 3 nominated, really shouldn't be. Let's see what's into the 80s. Somebody said something about Scarface. Oh no, maybe that was the best actor. Whatever. Point is, Oscars have been falling off for a while. A long while. And I hope that at some level, the group that we keep talking about, international bankers, say, you know what? I think we're going too hard with the people. And I don't think it's taking. I think our brainwashing is not taking anymore. And we have to stop because we're losing the money that we use to fund all our evil operations. So hopefully they're getting the message and they will chill the fuck out with the bullshit. And real quick, I want to talk about Mortal Kombat. Let me see if I can find their box office as of tonight. Because I did want to talk a lot about that because I haven't really talked solo about it. Google says 120 some odd million, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I think that might be the classic Mortal Kombat. I don't think that's the current one. Let's see. Okay. First, let's just cover the story. Mortal Kombat Demon Slayer overperformed on Sunday after an intense box office brawl. Anime pick bust past 21 million. Wow. Brawl, I'm sorry. Bunny and final. It keeps getting better. Not only the Warner Brothers Mortal Kombat up its opening weekend to 23.3 million, but Funimation's Aniplex Demon Slayer also surged, cracking beyond the teens to 21.1 million. Both better than expected Sundays. Does show the box office? The amount of theaters both movies are in is actually insane, especially when you consider does it have the theaters? Because that's the main thing. Oh, it shows the top locations. That's funny. But the fact is, they made this money. I think Demon Slayer was in like 1,600 theaters, which is insane. And fucking Mortal Kombat was in fucking what 3,000, which is here we go, 3,000 theaters, 3,000 fucking theaters, which is not a lot. That's not all the theaters, and they're not at full capacity. Still 20 some odd million. Demon Slayer, this Demon Slayer thing, I don't know shit about it, but I am fucking interested just because of the hype. Think about this. Demon Slayer is, I think, the number one anime in history as far as gross money in China. Yeah, we need to still name Demon Slayer that way. It's sodomizing Hollywood. I agree. But it's the number one anime. I say China. I meant to say Japan. I'm so tired. Number one anime in Japan's history, at least by gross. And not only that, in this country, 20 million, 1,600 theaters. And keep in mind, this is not this is a movie that you must know the anime, apparently. Granted Kuma, I believe in the chat, has told me that you need to have binged the anime. You need to be in context. This is a continuation. So this is not just, this is basically a sequel to a television series in the anime and the manga. And it's able to make $20 million with only like 1,600 theaters that are not full capacity. That is an insane thing. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about the theater not being dead. Even Nobody has already made a total of 20 some odd million. Again, Godzilla vs. Kong, these are just the US made 80 million plus, I think 400 altogether worldwide. Hold on a second. Ooh, excuse me. Trying not to sneeze on camera. So hold on a second. Sorry about that. I'm still here. Still here. Let's see. Robert, you said it's a good show. I know maybe kind of in the middle or something, but what is this? What do you mean it's a good show? Jeff Bridges was in Crazy Heart, basically a remake of Tender Mercies, a Robert Duvall Oscar movie. Okay. Guys talking about Dave Wells. Okay. Hell, that 70s rock fan. Hey. Talking about you need a jogging suit. I'm just not sure what Jens is talking about. Like the ladies, just not so much when it's a fighting scene. 10 times it'll be crap. Yeah, I know you like the ladies, but you just give them no love when it comes to fighting or any physical action. And I love it, man. You're just so brutal. You're talking about the kick. I said, yeah, it was slow. Luckily, she wasn't fighting a man. I was just like, I love you, Jens. Never change. Never change, Jens. Never change. Wait now. I live in a rural area in North Carolina, and I know people that were hyped to go see Demon Slayer. No one local has said anything about Mortal Kombat. Wow. What part of North Carolina? Wait now. What part? It's a good, yeah, I'm talking about Demon Slayer. That's what you were talking about. It's a good show. The Demon Slayer manga out-earned the entire comic book industry in 2020. I don't think it's the only, I think quite a few mangas have done that. Or have been, and I think maybe for a few years there's been like a set of mangas that are able to do that. U.S. comic industry is not that big of a deal anymore. Need to be in a jogging suit. See my man 70s say hell, and then of course Robert's talking about Demon Slayer, but I'm so out of touch. Randolph Company. Randolph County. Okay. Not sure where that is. I am in the North Carolina area, so that's pretty cool. I need to. I'm not been too much. I've only been really like in my city. I visited some North Carolina. I visited the mountains. I visited Asheville once. So on Hulu, so I can watch it on Hulu. Okay, but I want to check it out with all the damn hype. All the damn hype. Even Tom and Jerry got 40 million. That's another sneaky little move. I wonder how much that's made worldwide. All for Warner Brothers has snuck around and fucked around and did something special. They were able to make a lot of money off of a lot of movies that weren't woke. And they're the only ones making money right now, right at this moment. Now, there's a lot of circumstances for why that could be. It's interesting to see the top cities for, this is the top cities for Mortal Kombat: LA, New York, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, Phoenix, San Fran, Atlanta. Surprised San Fran with all the restrictions. Atlanta, Orlando, and Philly. Huh. Jeez, I'm thoroughly impressed by the numbers that we're talking about, because it shows that we have a potential future for Hollywood. And just as I was about to put the camera back on, it just dropped. So that's great. That's professional camera. I got a show going on, you asshole. Just fucking fall like that. What an asshole this camera is. You believe this shit? Hopefully it doesn't look crooked as shit when I get on camera. Oh shit. Okay. You're just really being a douche. Really being a douche. Sorry for the show, everyone. I've been a lot of off camera, a lot of little weird issues. That's pretty much every show. So let's see how long this camera will stay up. Let's also check real quick to see what's going on with the D Live chat because it doesn't auto populate. Because why do that? Doesn't look anyone else is in the D Live. Hopefully Mustafa is still there. Hopefully, and shout out to anyone who's watching on D Live or Twitch because we appreciate it. All right, yeah, VW destroy his studio. Hell, Joakim Stark, and here's an F for the camera. It's back. Robert sent the F, so it'll wait down, but it's back. And I'm about to move it again. Stay on. Okay, I just want to see the keyboard. I show the keyboard. All right. So my thoughts on Mortal Kombat, and I've been mixed since I saw the damn movie. It's a 5 out of 10. But it's like at the same time, maybe it's the context of the time we're in where everything sucks. But I really want to see another one. I want to give it another chance. Because I feel like there's still some good ideas in the Mortal Kombat franchise. I think the brutality of the movie's good. It was only made with $60 million, $55 million budget. Maybe it was $100 million out the door, including the marketing, because it was a decent amount of marketing. But it looked like a movie that only had 50 to 60 million in production budget. But at the same time, even if it was terribly written, and it was terribly written, and there was no real plot, it was sort of a plot, but there's no progression of any of the characters, and it was terribly acted. Outside of Kano, because he was fun. But, and spoilers for everything. And yes, this is a big but. There was a lot of fun to be had with this movie. A lot of fun in an era where there's not fun. Now, if this movie came out in 2009, I probably don't even have a positive feeling about it. But it didn't. It came out when it came out. It came out in 2021. I talked about how the theaters aren't dead. I gotta say, even with the weirdness of they're real crazy at the theater I went to. So I had to do all this craziness to layer my own popcorn with butter. It was stupid. And some of the COVID stuff they do. It was still a cool experience to just eat popcorn and watch some escapism and be in a different world and see a bunch of cool stuff and have a communal effect where we laugh at the same time. Like, that was a fun experience. You're like, yeah, I like going to the theaters. I kind of want to go back. I didn't see Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters. I kind of want to, just because it'll seem fun to do. It's something to do. You can't, everyone assumes that everybody just wants to stay in their house for the rest of their lives. I think the Coof has killed that. Even before the Coof, everything's gone towards streaming. 24/7 today, shout out to 24. He had a video talking about they're trying to de-emphasize Blu-rays, the same Warner that I'm praising, de-emphasize Blu-rays and physical media, because they want everybody to only have digital media, and they assume everyone's just going to watch streaming all the time. And people want to go outside of their own house and do something. And the movies are just such an easy default thing to do. I don't think they'll ever die. I'm going 180 from what I said when this whole Warner HBO Max thing was announced. This is the death of theaters. They will never die because the demand for that experience is actually in our evolutionary psychology at this point. Thousands of years we've gone to a Coliseum or theater. Thousands of years. And I'm seeing a message. This is unacceptable, Vig. I want a refund. Oh, wait, I didn't pay you shit. Yeah, you didn't. Buzz. Now, if Ogre Squasher wants a refund, I can do it, man. I can do it. Buzz says Snow the Poopers. I heard a reviewer say it's a good action movie, but bad Mortal Kombat movie. See, it's a bad movie regardless, but it does have good action. And I'm not a lore expert with Mortal Kombat to know how good of a movie it is relative to the lore. We saw fatalities. I definitely think the market was the people who saw the first 3 games and played the first 3 games in the 90s. I feel like that's who the market is. Even though we didn't see human reptile and just regular reptile, it was a lot. And there were some characters post that era that showed up. But a lot of the fatalities were classic fatalities, like Kung Lao's fatality, Kano's fatality, Liu Kang's fatality. They're classic ones that we've seen. Um, but I mean, it was far from perfect, and the inexperience of the acting, the inexperience of the writers, the fucking asshole from Wonder Woman 84 who was responsible for the rewrites, he needs to be kicked out of the fucking business. He's trash. Trash, trash, trash. He has to just not be allowed to do this anymore. The biggest problem Hollywood faces from here is the fact that even when they try to make a non-woke film, they can't anymore. They fire everyone in New Hollywood. Yeah, there is a talent. There is a lack of talent when it comes to the creativity in Hollywood. The creators in Hollywood that have power. I'm sure there are brilliant writers and brilliant directors and brilliant producers who don't have the job or have a lesser role than they should. But when it comes to the decision-making creatives in Hollywood, there's just a lack of them. And even I think a lot of the average writers, they've gotten rid of so many writers who could write. I know Doomcock and Gary keep bringing up how Star Trek Discovery had Walter Mosley, and they got rid of him because of wokeness. You know what I'm saying? So many writers who can write, who have the talent to write, have been kicked out or just pressured out of Hollywood or out of the jobs that they had. So yeah, I think this is a huge issue, and I don't know how Hollywood in its current state can overcome it. And we kind of hope they don't. Hope we overcome it. So $60 million is not enough for a coherent story. Good acting these days. So I agree with that point. There's no way, there's no amount of money that could get that you need to care about your story. You could do that with a $2,000 budget. You can have a coherent story. I don't know. Slasher's still here. His friend had a fucking really brilliant movie that had a good story, and that budget was nowhere near this. The Illusion, I believe. No, but this story was way better, way more coherent. And it had no budget. Budget. So yeah, there's no really buzz. So you're not wrong, but I'll read this and I'll still have a counter. Just Another Red Shirt, who's not just another Red Shirt, Steve Red Shirt, says Mortal Kombat had more of a plot, a revenge tale than Godzilla vs. Kong. We get to see these two monsters destroy each other in a city. But two things: Godzilla vs. Kong realized we're not for plot. We're going to be dumb, and they even had too much plot to my liking. Just be stupider. If you have L.A. Confidential or some really quality, because we just talked about that, I really like that movie, but some real quality writing, then do it. But if you don't, keep it simple, stupid. And I don't think it really was a revenge tale. I mean, you see the beginning. What it has is the beginning of a revenge tale and the end of a revenge tale, but nothing in the middle to the show the revenge tale. Spoilers again if you haven't seen the movie, but opens up with Sub-Zero killing Scorpion and his family, and then he goes to the netherworld or whatever to become Scorpion, and then it closes with him finally getting the revenge. He says, remember this face, but there's no, outside of the little flashes of Scorpion that Cole sees in the mirror, there's no real link to that. You know what I mean? And it would have been better if Cole was Scorpion. I think that was a mistake, not making him just making him Scorpion. And sheesh, yeah, $317 million. There was no coherent plot in The Last Jedi. Good point. Way down. Could agree with that. Godzilla vs. Kong was really, really bad. So yeah, none of these movies are really technically good as far as plot. They've not been great. You know what I mean? Plot wise, none of them, including the Snyder cut. I know. So if Godzilla vs. Kong was stupid fun. Mortal Kombat was stupid fun. There was some little, there's some attempts. I feel like they tried too much. They could have been dumber and simpler, more coherent. Hell, I think as far as this revenge plot, if there was more of a focus on Scorpion throughout, and again, if Cole was Scorpion, that would have kind of added to it. Because Sub-Zero was chasing him the whole movie, and they did cool stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff. Things, if you notice in the background, you know when Sub-Zero is going to come, because there's like little chills and stuff in the background. There's one scene where they're in the house, and it's so cool how they do it. Like the wife goes by, you can see there's frost on the window. They don't really show you. They don't really hint towards it until she comes back, and then Sub-Zero comes back. There's little stuff like that. There's set design. The set designers You deserve you deserve a raise. Set designers, the fight choreographers. You know what I mean. There were some good fights. There was some weird fights. But yeah, where is our boy 24/7? He's probably busy. He's probably busy. And humans suck. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I agree with you. It should have been better for Cole to become Scorpion. Yeah, and it's just, to me, I think a lot of it too was the acting. With Godzilla vs. Kong, the acting, I hated all the characters, I hated all the human characters, but because of the spectacle, it was able to distract from a lot of the issues, and it just was a spectacle. It just said, this is a spectacle. We're just looking for excuses for big monsters to fight, and we're cool with that. With Mortal Kombat, there was some of that. They definitely were cool with just, a lot of blood, a lot of violence, which was, that's the plus of the movie, is the fight scenes. But it was still trying to make it a part of it. This movie with Mortal Kombat was definitely suffering from Iron Man 2 syndrome, which is, let's set up a universe before we even do anything with the movie we're currently in. And they cared more about setting up a universe than making a coherent movie. I understand that. It's modern Hollywood. You know what I mean? You want to establish a franchise. And that's why, we know why Johnny Cage was held back. Who knows if the little spoiler scene was something they shot last minute after the heat. But Johnny Cage and Katana and some other Shao Kahn, some other characters are held back for a sequel. These characters, they're teased to be able to return with Shang Tsung's powers, which are not explained, just like most things are not explained. And the things they explain that don't make sense and have nothing to do with the lore. But I would say if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch. For paying my money to go to the movie theater and watch it, even if I think it's a 5 out of 10, I still feel like I got my money's worth, because it's just that damn fun. If you think too hard, it's gonna suck. And sometimes, in my opinion, it still forces you to think harder than you want to. But it's fun. They cut 20 minutes out of the movie, I'll probably give it a 6 or a 7. But they didn't. So Wookiee in Exile says the entire Disney tragedy, as Justin of the Red Shirt calls it, and who was it? I think Geetrapology coined that phrase. He says the entire Disney trilogy is a garbage or a tragedy. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I fell for the Force Awakens, and I stand by the experience I had. Hell, it's similar to this. You don't have something you want in a while. In that case, it was Star Wars. In this case, it's just a movie that can not pay attention to the garbage of the world. And you feel, oh my God, it's like Eddie Murphy said with that cracker. This cracker is the best cracker on earth. It's the greatest cracker I ever had. They put something in this cracker. You know what I mean? It's just like that. Speaking of Eddie Murphy,
You never let me see you do that shit again. I'll fuck you up.
Had nothing to do with anything. It's Eddie Murphy. Why not? But yeah, it's that thing where I think the Farce Awakens, there hadn't been a Star Wars movie in like 10 years since the prequels. And a lot of people, will go even further back. If you check out the Echo Base Network documentary they have, and they talk about how people were just so hyped about the Farce Awakens. They said it's better than the prequels to the which I thought I was fine with it. There's no excuse for the other two. No one's going to defend the other two. And I'm not even defending, just context. I understand why people liked it. Hell, it got me too. And I think a lot of movies, for a different reason, going to do the similar thing. If you could just make a movie that's not woke, that can keep people's attention for an hour and a half, you too can be lauded by people, because we just want simple things. Just Another Red Shirt likes Mortal Kombat, and the normie girl that went out with my brother, she liked Mortal Kombat. So normies like it. So glad you never saw the Disney tragedy. Yeah, never see it. Only 6 Star Wars movies. Bottom line, maybe only 3. Yeah, that's a hot take. There's only 3 Star Wars movies. You heard me. Yeah, I don't know anyone who would disagree with that. Wookie, some woke person on Twitter would. So unfair garbage is much better than the D Disney movies. Very true. Very true. Yep. Shout out to Geek Apology for calling the term Disney tragedy. There we go. At least garbage can be used as compost. Very true. So can Last Jedi DVDs, says The Wake Down. And Wookiees in Exile says TFA was a fucked up tease. Had all the potential. And Disney screwed the pooch. Absolutely. All the potential in the world. All the potential in the fucking world was totally screwed up. Totally screwed up and butchered. Alrighty. It's going to be a shorter episode, which is fine with me because I mean I can't do 2 hours all the time. So we're not done yet. We're not done. We never leave the Vigilante Williamson show without without some positive news. We talk about a lot of crazy stuff in the world, but we will talk about the positive stuff in the world as well. I love this. I think this is Robert. Cookies in exile. Hell, cookies in exile. Nom nom. So we have cookies in exile and Wookiees in exile. So yeah, I'd say 2.5 real Star Wars movies. Oof, we're getting hotter takes. Is this Lord Thought? We're getting hotter takes. Yeah. So I guess there's some Empire, not Empire Strikes Back, some Return of the Jedi hate from Zord the Poop is an anonymous. Don't know who anonymous is, but he just tipped he or she or they or them or Zer, whatever pronoun they prefer, has just tipped $10. And they say, love you, brother. John and Rose about to hit 100K. I found them at 300 subs. I have faith your channel will be great. Hell, my friend. Maybe Gomer Kyle. Because I think he's a mod over there for and that's good. They're about to hit 100K. I know they fuck with John Matrix channel or / I think they've converted it to Black and White News. Shout out to those guys at Black and White Sports. They may be following me. I think they were following me on Parler before that got cut down. And I mean, it was back. But yeah, shout out to Anonymous if that was Gomer Cow or whoever it was. Yeah, it was Gomer Cow. Just $10 is never just anything, man. Hey, I know Ogre Squash. Oh, check the PayPal. So okay, so that's maybe it's not the same thing. I'm not sure if it's the same thing. So now I'm gonna check. So I don't know if that was going. I'm assuming that was Gomer Kyle who donated the anonymous. Was that you who did the anonymous? Gomer Kyle, were you the one who donated anonymously to the whatchamacallit Stream Elements? Let me know. Don't start with me about gospel. Oh Lord, we're not gonna. How many can of worms can we open? We were just talking about the Illuminati and the trafficking. Don't think my plants will get any nutrients. For Star Wars DVDs, I'm not sure what plants you're talking about. Again, we have enough issues. Just $10. Ewok cuteness fatigue. Hey, cookies. Where are you banned from? Hello, my furry friend. At Snowderpoop's Cuber. Have a sealed cookie. Oh, they have sealed cookies. Yep, they took John's channel membership. Yep, that's bullshit. Oh, nom nom. He's enjoying the sealed cookie. Banned from Weight Watchers, and it was indeed Gomer Kyle. Thank you again, Gomer Kyle. I appreciate it. And I hope you're right. We'll see. I'm at 400 subs. And yeah, they haven't really said that. I've been okay. It says Wookie. So I want to do shows I did want to show at 250. I'm gonna do another show at 500 if I can make it there. I don't want to take for granted that 100 more people are going to sub to me. It would be cool. I'm obviously working towards that, and I'm going to try to put more work towards more video content, more focus on this channel. A lot more focus on this channel. But my plan is do one at 500, do one at 750, and do one at 1,000 if we reach those milestones, and then go from there. So we'll see. Thank you, Gomer Kyle. It's not just $10. Every dime counts. You guys have monetized this channel without having YouTube having to monetize this channel, without having to be, do whatever it is for YouTube, which I need to do more to get more viewers. But yeah. Cookie is being oppressed by the fat positivity folks. What the hell? Well, this is just a positive story. Let's just talk about actual positivity, not fat positivity, just at positivity. Those fatties are the worst. Yeah, you know what? I need to go back to looking at those videos. They were motivating me. Seeing those fat positivity people complain about being fat, because I'm really fat. The stress of this job that I do outside of this, and the stress of life, and my own habits, just eat. And I'm at food addiction levels. I really got to stop. They're killing LaChina on Black and White and Sports Wars is great. A hot take, man. I hope, because I know Ryan Cannell has actually listened to my stuff. I like Black and White Sports better than Sports Wars. I just do. I like them both, and honestly, Sports Wars is probably the only Geeks and Gamers stuff I watch religiously. I don't know about religious, but I watch at least a couple of videos a week. Because really, between them and Outkick, Black and White Sports, Sports Wars, Outkick, that's how I keep up with sports and local. There's some local NBA channels, like there's a Knicks channel I like, of course, Detroit channels I like. There's one Portland channel that talks about the Trailblazers. The local channels that are just fan channels are really cool if you care about sports. It really gives you that. Ironically, they do a better job than ESPN. A fan who cares, he'll analyze the stats for his local team or her local team way more than an ESPN anchor will, and really break down matchups. And it's fun to watch. Like, oh yeah, this is why I like sports. Yeah. Rose and Matrix are the shiz in it. And it's funny. I didn't even know for the longest they were even connected to the Fan of Minutes. They started off as Fan of Minutes channels and then focused on sports, and then they grew and grew and grew. And last year they just exploded, and they do good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, though, this USPS mail carrier was doing good stuff as he saved a public works employee's life. A USPS mail carrier in Connecticut jumped into action when a public works employee hit the ground. Uh-oh. Edward Bamba was helping direct traffic while his crew was fixing a road on Walnut Street in Seymour when his heart shut down. Yeesh. That's scary as hell. Edward was on the ground convulsing. That's when USPS postal worker Robert Dillon saw him and started chest compressions. People don't survive what he went through. Edward's wife, Lisa Bamba, said, I was blue. I was gone, Edward recalled. Holy smokes. Edward, who's a grandfather, he was on a ventilator for 3 days, but is on his road to recovery. He called Robert to thank him and told him, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. Wowzers. To call him and say thank you was such an understatement. I mean, because thank you isn't even enough. Lisa said, I don't even think he realizes what he did. I mean, he literally saved his life. I'm not going to show the local report because I got into some issues showing a report of a video for it. I just don't want to deal with the copyright claim stuff. Is really stupid on YouTube and worse than usual. But I did want to share the story. We talk about a lot of bullshit in the world. We talked about the evils of the powerful people in the world, whatever name they want to go under. But remember, regular people still care about one another, and people still do things for one another. Somebody saves somebody's life. They're just going about their day. So let's go to the next story. This is a reference to Egyptian stuff, but this is a little bit more positive. The Sun sells thousands of cheesesteaks to give mom last dream trip to see the Egyptian pyramids. Ever since Gloria Walker was a little girl, she wanted to go to Egypt, and her son is making that dream a reality. Oh boy, this is very sad. Last year, after Walker was told that she had late-stage bladder cancer, her son Dustin Vitale, Vital, like Dick Vitale. That's what I think of. I'm gonna just say Dustin Vital because that's what it looks like to me. If there's one thing in the world you can do, what would it be? She said, I'd like to see the pyramids. Ever since I was a little girl, she's wanted to see them. But she did not want to travel alone, just go with her husband, Tone. She wanted to go with her whole family. So Vital, who works as a middle school teacher in Philadelphia, can never afford trip expenses for 14 family members. Holy smokes, that's a lot of people trying to go to Egypt all at once. So he decided he could raise the money selling cheesesteaks. Better be some good-ass cheesesteaks in Philly. Vital said his campaign started on his Instagram story, which friends and family and students helped spread. This is a story. He says, you're interested in supporting me and trying to make my mom's dream come true. As she battles cancer, you can purchase a cheesesteak, chicken cheesesteak, or buffalo chicken cheesesteak. All comes with fries and a ton of meat. All for $15. Venmo, Dustin Vital, Cash App, Dustin Vital. Business hours Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 12 to 8 p.m. Pre-order only. And then he, gives more details. Immediately, cars start double parking outside of his house. Faces he didn't recognize start showing up at his front door, which is kind of creepy, especially in Philadelphia, but it's neither here nor there. It's a positive story. We ended up doing 94 in a day. We were just blown away, Vital said. A food truck operator offered his service, and in just 6 weeks, Vital raised all the money he needed and then some. He made 18 grand. Wow. Their trip is planned for later this year. His mother says Cleopatra never had it so good. The love is overwhelming. I hope she can go hearing about her cancer. That's a very sad story, but it's a cool story that her son and the community kind of came together just so she can get a dream. And I mean, they got cheesesteaks. I'm assuming they were pretty good for him to keep selling them. If they were shitty, I don't think they would have. That's neither here nor there. As I'd be a greedy fuck. The story is the point, and it's really cool to see it. As much shit as Philadelphia gets, the city that booed fucking Santa Claus, the city that booed Michael Irvin when he had a neck injury, they were able to raise money for a family who to see their dreams, to see Egypt. So yeah. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Rose and Matrix are the shiznit, and big fat tits are positive on a woman. Yeah, I don't disagree, Jens. I only watch fan sports channels. Yes, the fan sports channels are really good though. Mainstream is so pathetic. It's so trash. Oh, check your Discord DM. Friend with Rose on Facebook. We talk. I'm blessed to have you, Eric K, just in the red shirt. Y'all better friends than my friends now. Just getting emotional. It's okay, man. I love you, Cobra Kyle. No, I seriously love you. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. The fact is 14, 15 and you watching, check the D Live before we go. Gotta check the D Live. Doesn't look like Mustafa ever got back with me. I hope Mustafa enjoyed the show if he didn't, or if he watched it or she watched it. Doesn't know. Or they, whatever pronouns they prefer. Whatever pronouns you prefer. I know it's most likely he and she, but just that off chance. Rose is my cracker. Yeah. You're all my whatever racial term you guys, whatever. You're all my humans, and I appreciate you. Well, except Snort the Poopus and Cinch Dildo, and Grinner Kuma's actually a half demon, and there's somebody else. There's what's the man? The RoboCop guy. I forgot his name. Blame my head and I'm hard. So not all you're all my things. I guess I don't know. Beings. Wookie, my bud too. Love the woman on your vids. UK drill rapper saved a woman who fell into the Thames a couple of days. He died saving her. Whoa. That's a sad story. Oh, no. I don't know who did that or who that was, but that's sad. And what the hell is it with rappers dying? Even in the UK, good Lord, I think I saw something like 300 rappers died the past year. Maybe I shouldn't make an album. Jesus Christ, I want to live. Ah, man. Cinch and Dildo, if you can let me know what the rapper's name who passed doing that, that's a sad story. I'll pull it up for I don't like end it on a sad note, but I want to see what happened. Cheesesteaks, I want this. There you go. Well, if you were in Philly, live really close to Vegas, used to live there, but I know the place too well not to ruin the party if you don't want to party in Vegas with me, or maybe we do want to party in Vegas with you. Maybe that's exactly why I want to go to Vegas, which I don't know that I will go. I may. I want to, but I may. Actually, word my Nerdrotic STLV sent to me by Eric K. And Mrs. Nerdrotic, I get a lot of goodies. They said it wouldn't take my money. Great people. That's really nice of them. Wow, people doing nice things for each other. What sort of fancy universe is this? It's the same universe we're in, Lily of the Fox Valley. Hell, I think you're newer. But yeah, we always want to end with something positive. We talk about all the crazy shit that goes on in the world. It's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. We talk about the wokeness of the politics and all the bullshit they put in our entertainment, but we want to remember that human beings do still care about each other. They're going through so much to divide the human race and the human condition, and we have to remember, no, we do care about each other. So I like ending my show with positive stories. If you're new here, that's why we talked about the positive story. Man, hell, showing love. I appreciate everyone showing love to Lily of the Fox Valley. Always a great show and a great chat. I'm glad. Oh, there's Moonchild. I didn't see him sneak in. Where did you sneak in? Or maybe I clicked on it. So I guess there's Moonchild is in there. Hell. Was it the music you used in the streets? It's just a song. The song, the intro and the outro. No, he's not the RoboCop cowboy because he's from Detroit as well. But no, there's somebody else has like a RoboCop avatar, and I can't think of who he is. But as far as both of the music are just beats that I made, and actually, if you notice, they're like the same song. Like there's like a remix of the other. Like one is just like, kind of like an outro stuff. So I made a beat around the time I made that the video I actually talked about last show or last Vigilante Williamson show. Video about Amy Klobuchar, one of the first videos I made. I'd already made a beat. That's my intro beat, and I can actually just play it real quick. This is the intro. I'll just play it for where it is. Is it playing? Oh shit, it's muted. No, it's not playing. That's unmuted. So that's the intro beat. And actually, you just start the outro beat. It's kind of a different version. It doesn't really show that's the same notes till the end. But I just made this just to have something to go with, like the outro of me talking in that video, and I just kept it. So yeah, it's just some beats that I made, basically, both for the intro and outro. But that is the outro music. And no, it's not Darius Moonchild, although I love him, RoboCop Cowboy. Endings are epically, especially, definitely worth the minute and a half. Hell, yeah, you won't hear about it in the media, only when they stab each other and the news covers it. Yeah, Peter Weller from RoboCop, it's not him. It's not him. Cookies in Exile, you were asked about the RoboCop guy is Darius. Yeah, the scanner at RoboCop, that's the guy I'm talking about, not Darius. I know Darius. Darius Moonchild is great. But I'm talking about the scanner guy. Android Scanner is his name. That's the guy I was talking about as far as robots. So we have Cookie Monster, who's Robert, and he's a shapeshifter. Sentient Dildo, who's a sentient dildo. Wookiees in Exile. Snorter Poop is Cuber. And of course, Android Scanner, who was the guy I was thinking of. So then we have non-humans, but we have all the humans like Jens Petter and Gomer Cow and just another red shirt, which I actually got the Wake Down, but I love the Wake Down too. He has a channel. Please check it out. Just another red shirt. It's not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt. Lily of the Fox Valley. We appreciate you being here. Sentient Dildo, I already said. And Snorter Poopus, of course, I already said. He wants the cheesesteaks. Though Finver was here earlier. I know a lot of people were here in and out. Paulie was here earlier for a second. Moira Kitty / McSplitter was here for a second. So I appreciate anybody who was here, anybody who lurked. Shout out to D Live, who we had Mustafa on our D Live. Shout out to anybody who watched this on D Live, whether it's YouTube or Twitch, wherever you saw this, or you're watching the replay. I appreciate you being here. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged, share and subscribe. And hell, Joakim Stark, I forgot you. You were here as well, lurking. I appreciate you lurking. Great stream, my ditters. Strictly for my knitters. I appreciate it. So thank you for watching the video. God bless. Appreciate your time. Should be a salute emoji. Yeah. Strength and honor, everybody. Thank you for being here. Peace.